Give me just 5 minutes of your time as we talk about a story on this sensitive topic. I'm a teenager and I can kill. If you still want to skip this video and not here, then you are welcome, but just understand you're not here helping your teenage son or daughter or friend's son or friend's daughter because this topic touches each and every one's of our life. In 2019, about 1 in 8 high school students carried a weapon in the past month, and in 1 in 36 carried a weapon to the school. In 2019, male high school students reported carrying a weapon at least one day in the past month at a higher rate than their female counterparts. And it is in the same period, homicides by the youth increased through 27%. The term youth violence covers a broad spectrum of behavior that includes fighting, bullying, and gang related violence. Exposure to violence as a child not only causes an emotional but also a physical harm. It induces a negative impact on health and well being, and it can be your baggage as you grow into an adulthood, teenagehood, as well as at every section of your life. It basically knowingly, unknowingly starts grooming you. Your behavior, your thought process, your understanding of the society, everything gets impacted. Youth violence and its diverse ramifications have long been a major challenge for police officers, school staff, municipal leaders, as well as for the elderly in the community. Preventing youth violence is a critical issue for many communities across the globe, including America. As adolescence is a common period for becoming involved in violence and gangs. In school, gangs often engages in threats and intimidation, physical, cyberbullying fighting, and other criminal activities to the point that it starts involving drugs and weapons. There are another type of youth violence according to the data, which is called teen dating violence. It's an issue that have led to serious short-term and long-term effects. Examples of teen dating violence include physical and emotional harm and stalking. Once a teen experiences violence in one relationship, research has shown that they are at significant risk of experiencing violence in another. So it becomes an unstopping chain. The impact of violence in schools extend beyond the individuals who are directly involved. It disrupts the education process, negatively affects youths, teenagers, adults in the school, and the surrounding community. So the effects it have is like youth who experience or perpetuate violence at school are more likely to bully other, both in school or in another situation outside classroom. So basically, today's victim can become tomorrow's perpetuator here. Youth who witness or experience violence in the community are also more likely to use drugs and alcohol and become involved in violence themselves. It is that episode which tracks them to drug, as I talked in one of my video. The decision of getting attracted to the drug is individuals driven by factors, but once an individual gets hooked up by the drug, then the brain will never let that individual stop just because that individual have a strong will. Young victims of crime are generally underserved, and the system responsible for caring for them can be fragmented and ineffective. Like the Office of the Victims of Crime in the United States of America, they're committed to improving services for all victims of crime, including those exposed to different form of violence. There's a Vision 21 Transforming Victim Services initiative supported by Office of Victims of Crime, Office of Justice Program United States. It expands the vision and the impact of the crime victim in assistance field. The objective with which they work is they identify and promote healing for victims of crime. They provide, coordinate prevention and intervention services to youth and the families who are experiencing trauma and victimization. It builds capacity within communities to meet the youth who are exposed to violence one way or other. OJJH OJJDP awarded nearly $23 million under the Youth Violence Tolerance Intervention Initiative to address youth violence and provide services for children exposed to violence. Since 2022, they have awarded nearly $47 million through Enhancing School Safety to address youth violence initiative to support schools and community-based organizations to address violence by youth. But is there any hope remaining? At this section, we will see some reports which tells that violent crime involving youth as well as teenagers have come down. According to Professor Vincent Schiraldi, quote unquote, violent crimes committed by juvenile is on decline, but it might not always seem that way because media often casts a different narrative. Professor further explains that according to the data of the federal government, since the late 90s, there has been an 84% decline in youth arrest and two-third decline in violent crime. About 72% of people say when they form their opinions about crime, it is from news media, compared to 22% who say they know what they know from personal experience. So, mostly the people who are forming opinion or about violent crimes involving youth, they're reliant on media houses to make their opinion, and most of the time, media overblow the reports. While the fact says there has been two-third decline in the number of kids getting locked up as per the federal data. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and do let me know what did you like and did not like about this story.